Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, the market has been balancing in a very narrow range around the 85 quarter high volume node. Our short-term bias heading into the open is neutral bullish, and given how balanced the market has been over the last several days, we are going to have to assess the situation in real time to determine which side is dominant on the day time frame. On the upside, we have resistance at 88.75 to 90.75, and we know that we will need to see some upside momentum with the NYC tick holding above zero and printing some decent values in order to get a breakout above 88.75 to 90.75. A break above that area would confirm the buy side in control on the smaller time frames, bringing the 94.5 to 96.5 resistance zone into play with potential to test the 23.98 all-time high. On the downside, we have yesterday's low at 80.75 to 81 quarter, but if we're heading down there on some pretty decent downside momentum, then we need to exercise caution at 80.75 to 81 quarter. The initial support zone continues to be 76.75 to 78.75, and that is still an area where responsive buyers can be active on first test. A break below the initial support zone would signal short-term weakness and the sell side becoming more dominant and gaining control, and from there we could head lower into 70 to 72 and potentially 65 quarter to 67 quarter, and responsive buyers can be active at both of those zones. So far in the overnight session, the market has been running on very light volume, and if that theme continues after the open, then the range on the day could be fairly limited to perhaps 10 to 12 points. So that's something to bear in mind. Looking at the econ calendar, we don't really have any major economic reports due today, but we do have Apple reporting earnings after the close, and then we have the FOMC meeting that begins today, and then we have the FOMC announcement happening tomorrow. So given that we have Apple earnings after the close and FOMC due tomorrow, those are additional reasons that the market could be limited to a fairly small range today. So if the volume continues to be light on the day time frame, and we know that Apple is reporting earnings after the close, FOMC being due tomorrow, those are all reasons for the market to be limited to a fairly narrow range today. And that means limited opportunity, and that of course means that we need to be quite selective on the trades that we take today. And if no ideal trade setup presents itself, then today could possibly be a day where there are no trades taken on the day time frame. So we just need to be aware of the opportunity potential on any given day and then execute accordingly. So again, our bias heading into the open continues to be neutral bullish, and that means that we're still going to favor the buy side, but we do have to see something in real time in order to trigger a trade on the long side, unless the market is testing a key support area like the 76.75 to 78.75. So we have to be quite nimble and flexible with our intraday bias here. So those are the main thoughts heading into the open. Let's see how the market develops in the first 30 to 60 minutes. That should help us establish our very short-term intraday bias, and we'll take it from there.